Hi, welcome to NAIJAEDUGIST. So in this video, we will be talking about, we'll be going through the JAMB past questions, and as for today, we will be talking about, we'll be looking at use of English language past questions, and we'll be, solving the questions and give the answers together. So for use of English, which is actually compulsory for all applicants who will be sitting for all candidates who will be sitting for the UTME examination. So English language is a default and compulsory subject for everyone, like you all know. So, and of course, in each subject, there are quite a lot of topics as listed in the syllabus that you need to cover. So in today's video, we will be talking about, we'll be picking some questions based on opposite in meaning, which falls under lexis and structure. So this is going to be about antonyms. So I need you to, if this is your first time of watching our video, or you've been watching our video but you're here to subscribe to our channel, ensure you click on the subscribe button, please, and make sure you watch other videos on this channel and also subsequent videos that we are going to be releasing. So for you to get notified, ensure you click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell. So let's get started. So like I said, we will be talking about we'll be looking around uh, uh, questions that falls on opposite in meaning, which is antonyms. This is one of the topics that many students do fail in JAMB. So let's look into it. So number one, you need to firstly read instructions when you are answering any question, be it in WAEC, JAMB, or any other exams. So understanding the instruction will actually guide you through giving response to whatever question that is being asked. So for this one, so here are some tips that you need to understand before you answer the question. Number one, you need to read the question carefully, and you identify the word that is being required for you to give opposite in meaning to. Then you need to understand the meaning of that word. Then next is that you will have to look around the options. Then you read the whole sentence, understand the meaning of the sentence. Then you look into the options that are given from option A to D. Then you try and give meaning to those options too. Then you eliminate any options that are similar in word. You're actually looking for word that is opposite in meaning. So there will be some options, in the answers, that will be similar in meaning to the underlined word, just like this. So there will be some word out of the options that will be similar to this. So this is just to confuse you. So if you don't really understand the instruction very well, which says opposite in meaning, you will you make mistake of picking what is quite similar, which is synonyms to the word that is underlined. You understand? So after doing that, then once you are able to understand the meaning of the options that are given, you identify the words. You will be able to identify those ones that are not correct or that doesn't fit in. You will be able to also find the one that is similar in meaning. Then you will also be able to find the one that is actually opposite in meaning to the word you are looking for. So to start with, this one says, this number one question says, good students can easily identify spurious arguments. That is, so the word spurious is underlined. You understand? So number one, what you need to understand is the meaning of spurious, which actually means a false or deceptive. Understand? That is the meaning of when something is spurious. So let's look at the option given. Option A says genuine. When something is genuine, what does it mean? It actually means something that is actually real. Then when you say interesting, interesting means something that is not related to falsehood. Understand? Then number C, option C, false, which is actually a synonyms to the word genuine. We said the meaning of genuine is something that is false or deceptive. So this false actually is synonyms to spurious. So this is not what we are looking for. Then illogical means something that can be false, but it's still logical. So this is not the answer. This is not the answer. Then interesting, like I said, this is something that is not related to falsehood. Then so genuine means something that is real. You understand? So to fit in the word that we are looking for, the opposite in meaning to spurious, which actually means something that is false. So the opposite in meaning to spurious out of this option is genuine, which means true. You understand? So the correct answer for this number one question is genuine. So let me mark it. So the correct answer is genuine for the number one question. Then number two says many species in creation have mutated over the years into new forms of life. So let's look at the options given. So firstly, you have to look around the meaning of mutated. Mutated means something that actually changed or it's transformed. That is what mutated means. So stabilized means something that remained the same. You understand? That is option A. Then option B means manifested means that something that appeared or became evident. Understand? Then transform, another synonym. So this also means something that actually changed. When you say something mutated, it also transforms. So this is similar in meaning to mutated. Mind you, we are looking for opposite in meaning to mutated. Then standardized means to make something uniform, but it doesn't actually have to change. So looking at the option stabilize, which actually means to remain the same, is the opposite of mutated, that means to change, understand, or transform. So the correct answer for number two is also stabilized. So in your JAMB examination, it's going to be you'll be picking the answers. You won't have to underline it the way I'm doing this. So the question will have been set. All you will have to be doing is just to pick the correct answer. That is how that works. So number three says, in spite of many days of fasting, Danladi is still fastidious about his food. In spite of many days of fasting, Danladi is still fastidious about his food. Remember, we are looking for what? Opposite in meaning to the word. So we'll have to firstly look around for the meaning of fastidious. So what does fastidious means? So fastidious means when something is being very picky or it's being very particular. That is fastidious. So option A, which says particular, means this is actually a synonym of fastidious, which means something that is actually in particular. That is what fastidious means. So option A is just a synonym to fastidious. Then undecided means you don't really know what to pick. You don't really understand. You don't. So let's say undecided is not the opposite. Of course, being undecided is different from being picky. Then option C, indifferent, means not caring. That is what indifference means. Then option D, unmindful, it means to be careless. So the correct answer to this is indifference. Indifference is the correct answer to this particular one. Then number 4 says, we watched in wonder as she rattled away, in that esoteric language. So the meaning of esoteric means to be secretive or something that is being known by very few people. Understand? So we watched in wonder as she rattled away in that esoteric language, in something secretive. That is what esoteric means. So option A says inscrutable, which means something that is mysterious. So this is also similar to esoteric. Something that is mysterious is not known to everyone. Of course, it's only few people that understand it. Then option B, which says familiar. Familiar means almost everyone. Something that many people knows about. It is something that is familiar. Of course, for example, familiar. Everyone is familiar with water. Understand? Then option C means secret, which means something that is also hidden. Then option D, obscure, something that is also not really it's also related to esoteric, something that is also being secretive. That is what obscure also means. So the correct answer to this is familiar. Understand? So familiar is the correct answer to this. So number 5 question says, since mortality is the lot of man, argue to the preacher, we must all accept death with equanimity. So the meaning of equanimity means calmness or composure. That is what equanimity means. So since the mortality is the lot of men, argue the preacher, we must all accept death with something says calmness. That is what that means. So that's the meaning of equanimity. So option A given is concern. Remember, we are looking for opposite in meaning. Option A says concern, something that can be related to when you say something is concern, then we have uncertainty, something that is not really certain. That is what that means. Then serenity, which says it's actually a synonym of equanimity too. You'll have to calm. Then option D, anxiety. That means you are not calm. You have to be worried. You have to be nervous. That is what anxiety means. So the correct answer to option 5 is anxiety. Question 5 is anxiety. So which is opposite in meaning to equanimity. So question C says, some travelers unwittingly render themselves open prey to questionable characters. So what does unwittingly means? Unwittingly means that something that is unknowingly, something that is really unknown. That is unwittingly. So genuine, when you see something is genuine, is not really related to being aware. So when something is original, that is genuine, of course. Awesomely, when something means morally good, but that is not opposite in meaning to unwittingly. Then option C says knowingly. So like I said, unwittingly means unknowingly. So the opposite of unknowingly is what is knowingly. So the correct answer for this is going to be unknowingly. That's for that. Then once you already understand the meaning of the word, and you're able to understand the meaning of the options, and you're able to see the answer, the correct answer, just quickly pick it and you move on. So question 7 says, the Lioness of England are an indomitable team. So when you say something is indomitable, which means it is unbeatable, it has a strong will. That is what it means. So when something is strong, that is what indomitable means. So when you say powerful, which is also similar to indomitable, when something is strong, that is what that means. Prominent means when something is well known. That is not opposite in meaning. Then C, weak. We said indomitable is when something is strong. So weak is of course opposite in meaning to being strong. So the correct answer for this is weak. Of course, cowardly means something that's is quite different from the word that we are looking for, the opposite in meaning. So question 8 says, it was a Herculean task for me to do. Remember, we are looking for what the opposite in meaning to the underlined word. So question 8 says, it was a Herculean task for me to do. So when something is called an Herculean task, it means something very difficult. So let's look around. Let's look at the options given. Strenuous says strenuous is also something that is very difficult. That's the meaning of strenuous. And when something's then an easy, of course, something is easy. So which means it is the synonyms in word to Herculean. So it is opposite word to Herculean. So the correct answer to this is an easy. That's the correct answer to this. Then when you say odious, odious means something that is unpleasant or not really difficult, whereas uncommon is something, it doesn't really mean something is easy. It might be uncommon, but it doesn't mean it's easy. So the correct answer to this is, it was an easy task for me to do. When you replace it with the word aquiline and you want to get opposite in meaning to the word aquiline. Then questioning says, some have said that this should be Mark lived an in impecunious life. So to live an impecunious life means very poor. When something is poor, that is what impecunious means. So fulfilled, it doesn't really relate to impecunious. So this actually means something related to lifestyle. So fulfilled is when you probably enjoy what you do. That is fulfilled. Then frustrated, you are annoyed. So it's not related to the meaning of the word we are looking for. The opposite in the word to what we are looking for. Then wealthy means you have enough. You have it very well. Then lonely means when something is alone. So it has no connection with money. So this one, some have said that Mark lived in an impecunious life, and we said impecunious means to be poor. So that means the opposite in word to impecunious is wealthy. So the correct answer to question 9 is wealthy, which is opposite in word to impecunious. Number 10 says, the corpulent dark woman is a contrast to her dash husband. So when they say something is corpulent, means when something is big, or let's say something is fat. So this is related to the word woman. Of course, when you try to understand the full meaning of the sentence, that's why you'll be able to give a full meaning to. When you understand the full sentence, you'll be able to give a particular meaning to the word that is being underlined. So when they said the corpulent dark woman is a contrast to her dash husband. So corpulent in this aspect means something that is fat. So like saying the fat dark woman is a contrast to her dash husband. So when they say something is opulent means when you reach. So it's different from what we are looking for. When they say when something is bold, it's different from opposite of fat. Then lean, which actually means when something is tiny, when something is tiny. So we can say the lean dark woman is a contrast to our lean husband. So we are using this also to give answer to this underlined word. I mean to this space that is being left there to fill. So which means the answer to this question is lean. Option C is the correct answer. Tall, of course, is not the opposite of being fat. Question 11 says, the judge was known for his incorruptible character. So the meaning of incorruptible as used in this word means, to be honest or to be morally upright. That is the meaning of incorruptible. So let's look at the options given. Honest, we are looking for the opposite in word to incorruptible. That is what the instruction says. So to being honest, of course, is also the same thing as incorruptible, somebody who is honest and who is trustworthy. Then fraudulent, which means somebody who is not honest, somebody who is corrupt. So that is what fraudulent means. Then strict, of course, means when something is very hard. Then fear, of course, is not the opposite in meaning to incorruptible. So the answer we are looking for here is fraudulent, which is opposite in meaning to incorruptible. So the next question says, the professor's lecture was so tedious. The professor's lecture was so tedious. So we need to firstly look for the meaning of tedious. So tedious in this sentence means when something is tiresome or it's been very boring, that is what it means. That many students fell asleep. That is what it means. So the professor's lecture was so tedious. So if you mean the meaning of tedious here means when something is boring, it's being tiresome. That is what tedious means. So we are looking for opposite in meaning to the word tedious. So that many students fell asleep. So exhausting. When you say something is exhausting, so when you say something is exhausting, that means it's not really friendly to many. Then when you say uninteresting, of course, it also means it is quite boring. That is what uninteresting means. So, but when you say something is exciting, that means it is very interesting. That is what uh, opposite in meaning to the word means. So, opposite in meaning to the word tedious here is exciting. That is what it means. Thank you very much for watching to the end. Ensure you subscribe to our channel to see other questions like this that we will be bringing for you. And if you need past questions and answers to JAMB use of English language, you can contact me via my WhatsApp number, that's 081 and we can give you access to all of these questions and their respective answers. Thank you.